Heya, my name's Andy, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm jumping into episode 5 of season 2 of House of the Dragon. I'm hoping it's not going to be quite as devastating as the last episode, because good lord, despite House of the Dragon and there being dragons, I did not expect to see dragons fight. Which is ridiculous, but there we go. Or at least I didn't expect it to be quite as devastating as it was. I hadn't really thought about it at all, to be honest, so yeah, that was quite a shock at how brutal it was. But yeah, one other thing I did want to say before we jump into this episode was about Aegon. Now, I'm assuming he's dead, although I'm not 100% sure on that, but I didn't mention in the review of the last episode about Aemond Dracarysing him when he was fighting Rhaenys. And at the time, to me, when Aemond went in with Vhagar, yes, his brother was there fighting Rhaenys, but it felt to me like it was Rhaenys he was after, and Aegon happened to be there. And obviously Aegon shouldn't have been there anyway, because he was not supposed to be part of that plan. He just got drunk and then flew from King's Landing. So I think Aemon was probably a bit annoyed with Aegon anyway for being there, because he shouldn't have been. But also, his primary target was Rhaenys. And I feel like fire necessarily isn't gonna kill a Targaryen. And obviously Vhagar's very big, so perhaps it's a little bit different with him, but I didn't feel like that was Aemon deliberately trying to kill Aegon. It felt like a consequence of killing Rhaenys. Anyway, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode. I have tissues, so hopefully it's not going to be too traumatic. This is House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5. Why do I feel like this is going to be a very cryy episode? Oh no. Does he know? If I was her, I'd be... I don't know what I'd be doing, actually. I would want to go to King's Landing and just burn the fuck out of all of them.
Behold! The traitor dragon Maelys, slain at Brook's Rest by your king!
Can't be.
They've killed a dragon.
Mark my words, this is a black omen.
It's an abomination.
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory, if it was one.
I'm really angry.
I thought the dragons was gods.
Slain at Brook's Rest!
He's got the dagger.
Is he alive?
His grace remains with us for the moment.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Of course.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
What happened?
We took the castle.
Oh, he's a fucking prick, isn't he?
So I've heard.
He took the castle. Fuck off.
The king. Sir Criston, what befell him?
His grace fought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
I could not say.
Of course you couldn't.
Our largest dragon has been killed. Kristen Cole marches about the Crown Lands unchallenged. We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
I could never doubt your capability or your quickness of mind. It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
She needs to do something though, because she is just looking so weak right now.
Vagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle. If we can strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered...
Then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown.
What would you have me do?
Jace? Where are you going?
To Harrenhal, to treat with the Daemon. He must affirm his loyalty to my mother and report his standing.
And the Queen herself could not.
My mother gladly sends you away. To scout, to fight. Whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling, it's humiliating,
She
Baela.
only protects you. You are the succession.
Then I must be seen to act for her claim and mine. The Freys. They control the crossing at the Twins. Cregan Stark's Greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act. I will treat with the Freys to secure it.
I can understand Jace's point of view here, because... I mean, not that he should go against his mum's wishes, but like...
The hour is late, and my dragon is hungry. Renounce the false King Aegon as a usurper, or your house burns.
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders.
That is quite the impression, Lord Bracken, but alas, not an answer.
We choose fire.
I think he's about to get it, isn't he?
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
You should have indulged them.
I need them alive.
They are pig-headed, intransigent.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need. It may yet be possible, I think, for both of us to achieve our ends.
We have fought them for an age and more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
Every man has a weakness.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
Fight with them to learn their weakness.
More armies have broken themselves against my bloody gate.
Oh, it's the Eyrie.
Are you listening?
My lady.
The Eyrie itself is impregnable. Unless, of course, we're descended upon from the sky.
You promised the Queen Rhaenyra 15,000 swords.
In return for protection.
Then she has exceeded your terms. She sent 2.
Both still wet from the egg.
The dragons will grow. In time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
So do I.
She seems, cold.
They speak around me, not to me. Oh, they would make me queen, but they wish to keep me here, confined. In truth, I cannot fault them. I am now the sovereign. I cannot do as I please.
You are your father's chosen successor.
They did not prepare me to fight. If I had been a son, a sword thrust into my hand the moment I could walk. Instead, I was given my father's cup, taught the name of every lord and castle between Storm's End and the Twins, and they know it. I do not know my part, Massaria. The path I walk has never been trod.
Kristen Cole made a mistake. Parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war, but the people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
But will whispers tear down stone?
Do not underestimate your subjects. They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long.
And you think they will turn to me?
To the discontented, rumors are feed.
Oh.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
That's interesting. Yeah, because the small folk were not happy about the dragon head, were they?
I wished I had known her when she was young.
You are very like her in some ways. And with her gone, I must rely on you, I think.
Your Grace.
Would you give this to your grandsire?
I do not wish to stand alone.
You were always the strong one. The fearless dragon rider. Viserys was unsuited for the crown. Daemon, you were made to wear it.
I don't know who this is. Are we supposed to know who this is?
My favourite son.
Oh, good lord, that's his mother.
Is the duck not to your liking, Your Grace? There's also goose, if you prefer it.
I believe Willem Blackwood is bringing House Bracken to heel. How does the work here progress?
Oh, I rather thought Your Grace, as emissary to the Queen, perhaps she could provide the necessary coin, if you could only write to her.
No. Paranor is my command.
Why is he being so bloody stubborn? Not him, Daemon.
Very well, Your Grace.
You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the Queen?
Well, the king.
There it is, then.
Consort.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
His Grace suffered grievous burns over much of his body. He has many broken bones. I fear there are more injuries within.
We are grateful for your works, Grand Maester. Has he woken?
No. I must admit, I'm not sure he will ever wake. Our king's fate lies with the gods now.
Let them hear of his great deeds at Rook's Rest. But now we must name a regent to take his place. Until he recovers. Or does not.
A wise strategy, Your Grace. Did you have a candidate in mind, Your Grace?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace, but circumstances have changed. The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemond. Agreed.
His lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
Queen Alicent ably shouldered the duties of the realm when her husband's health failed him.
Experience is valuable, yes, but the Dowager Queen is a woman.
I am no stranger to rule or to sitting at this council. My experience is needed here, at this table.
No offense was meant, Your Grace, but at a time when we must show strength.
Lord Larys?
I agree, Your Grace. It must be Prince Aemond.
Wow.
But the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Kristen. What say you?
Aemond is the next in line. It must be him.
It's agreed, then.
I mean, it was her that caused Aegon to do what he did, so I kind of have no sympathy. But also, at the same time, I do actually feel really sorry for her now. Because she's lost everyone.
They have grown weary of the Sea Snake's blockade.
So have we all.
This is terrifying.
Presumed you'd be here. Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What? What did you see?
There were men walking, they were on fire. We have given the war to the dragons. The dragon rider should lead us.
And what of justice? Of temperance, or is strength now to be our only god? So you cast me aside?
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alicent?
I did not ask to be spared. And I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Oh shit.
Stay back!
This is where What's-Her-Face's plan is going to work, isn't it? When I say What's-Her-Face, I mean Thingy from What's It? Oh. The White Worm.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do. And the protection of my uncle.
That does lend us some comfort. Though it occurs to me that dragons cannot be in two places at once.
What do you want?
They want Harrenhal. Are they eating off of a door or something? That's a really odd table.
For that, my mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
bent knees.
I mean, the Freys are obviously just filth. Filth. That's not the word I was looking for. Assholes. But I guess at this point she really can't be picky because she's losing.
I hear strange things from Brackenland.
There's news then?
No. What I hear in the wind. Cries of anguish. Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
The Blackens had their chance to do as are required. They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
And once again, in the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
The realm will suffer if Aemon One-Eye rules.
I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
She cannot succeed, Alice. The people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength. Who's better suited to it, the High Towers with their scheming, or Viserys' first true heir? When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead, and none of this will be my problem.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
A message, Your Grace. Fresh news from Stonehenge. Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
Okay, so it wasn't quite as nice as I had first thought. Daemon's plan, I mean, for the Brackens and the Blackwoods.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her. Has she not asked enough of my house?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then. They will accept it most gleefully.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
Rhaenys was not only your wife. She was a Targaryen princess. The queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will. She died as she would have wished to die. With honor. In Dragonfire. The way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end. I grieve my grandmother who loved me. But I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished. As Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
Granddaughter, I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Your Grace,
I wish you to go to Harrenhal.
are you removing me from your council?
Sir Alfred, I will not deny you have tried my patience of late, but you and your house served my father well, and I know you will never accept the Hightower claim.
Not while I live, Your Grace.
I will not send a message by Raven for Daemon to disregard. I ask you to reason with him.
Oh dear.
Go now with haste. I'll send good men to see to your safety.
Have you any message for him?
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
Yeah, his state of mind is not doing very well, is it really?
Your Grace.
What is it, Sir Simon? Is the pudding now served?
The River Lords have come, Your Grace. They wish an audience.
What godless hour is it?
The wolf. They are demanding to speak presently.
Seems odd.
Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
House Bracken have been brought to heel at the hands of Willem Blackwood.
That news is stale.
Yes. There have been complications.
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms. The livestock was stolen, and our peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children.
But
these other acts?
The Brackens were given their chance. They would not see reason.
The Blackwoods have exploited the war for the crown to visit atrocities upon their
I have
old
seen my fair
rivals.
share of their quarrels, and I tell you there is no honor in a fight such as
Honor?
this.
What of common decency?
These beasts!
A terrible war is being fought in these lands. Have you looked after our girls?
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
That is a lie, and I will have the man who told it brought before me.
Oh, your man is half the kingdom, my prince.
Dragon or no, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
He has fucked it. That is a very cool shot.
Was it worth the price?
She knows.
Prince Jacaerys, Your Grace.
Oh god.
What is the mood at the Twins?
He wishes for the Freys to be granted Harrenhal.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine, my lord, I'm a dragon rider as well, with a war being fought over my ascension. And yet I must wait here, sending others to fight and be felled in my name. Even you've managed to do your part.
You are the queen. The tie that binds us. No harm can come
And
to
you
you.
are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
You do not give me leave to go to anything.
When Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Is Aegon dead?
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar. I have done all I can from here. Sent my messages, invoked my alliances. But if all else fails, it is I who must fight. Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all destroyed? I need dragons.
We have no dearth of dragons. We have 2 large enough to stand against Vhagar. They are called Vermithor and Silverwing. And they sleep beneath our feet.
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me.
There are those of our line who never ruled. Their children born with other names.
A generation ago, or more. The blood would be thin. Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon? A Tarly?
It's better than death and defeat.
There are records here, surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
There could be scores of them.
I've got goosebumps. That episode actually felt really slow, but I think it's probably because it came after the last episode. I mean, obviously it came after the last episode because that's how episodes work, but you know what I mean. Like, obviously last episode was very action-y, and so this one I think would always feel quite slow in comparison. But yeah, it feels, again, like we've kind of stepped back into the setup. It feels like it's setting up like the next stage. So Aegon is obviously not dead, but he's not in a good way. And I didn't expect to cry for him because of what he is and what he's done. But I just feel like Aegon, as fucked up as some of the stuff he's done is still basically a child. He's very inexperienced. He's had no training whatsoever to become a king. And just, I don't know. I don't know what people expected of him. Like, obviously everybody was expecting him to rule and to be, or maybe they weren't, maybe they were expecting him to just shut up and not do anything, like Alicent said in the last episode. But somebody should have probably told him that. from the beginning. Because what else is he supposed to think? But he hasn't had any training. He hasn't been prepared. So, and I suppose you could argue that Aemond has had the training and has been prepared, so maybe Aegon just didn't show up to his lessons or something, and that's on him. But he never expected to rule. He was never in line, because his father, Viserys, didn't name him, and never had. So, I don't know, it still irks me. Like, the way Alicent spoke to him last episode just really pisses me off. It pissed me off again when I was editing that episode. It was just like, it was just mean. And I know she's going through shit as well. And she was probably just taking out her frustrations with the whole situation on Aegon. But yeah, having said all that, in this episode I wanted to say told you so to Alicent, just because everything that's happened, not everything that's happened is her fault, but definitely Aegon flying out to Harrenhal was her fault. There's literally no way you can convince me otherwise. But sitting there at that table and literally being shut down by every man there, I just can't even imagine. She has no one, she is alone. And the acting in that scene was so good. Like, Olivia Cook is amazing. It was just, I could feel her rage and despair. Like, you know, if I was Alicent, I think I would probably do one or two things in that moment. I would either walk out, get a ship to Dragonstone and say, "Hi Rhaenyra, they're all a bunch of dicks, I'm joining you." Or I would find a dragon that was nice or steal somebody's dragon, get on it. I would then ride somewhere and just burn shit and say, "That's how you do it, bastards." This is why I'm not ruling. So yeah, Aemond has obviously now been made the regent, and I'm imagining it's not going to be long until Aegon dies. I don't think he's going to last, honestly. And Aemond is just bloodthirsty. Like, I don't hate his character. I think he's doing what he feels like he needs to do for his family. But, I don't know, him and Cole together is just not good. It's not good at all, because Cole is an absolute piece of shit. Like, I really despise Cole. And the way he treated the Queen, just like, f*** off. Absolutely f*** off. Yeah, the Daemon thing is really starting to annoy me now as well, actually. Like, I'm guessing, like, his whole thing about raising an army for himself and him being the king, I don't know how much of that is the effect of Harrenhal, because obviously his dreams and the visions he's having are affecting him. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe he's always wanted the throne. I don't think he has, though. It just doesn't seem like a thing he would do. I mean, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? Because he's so unpredictable, he would go in any direction. But I'm just like, can you just stop being a knob and go and talk to Rhaenyra, please? Can you just leave Harrenhal for a second and, like, get some of your senses back and stop being seduced by werewolves? But yeah, going to sort of the Dragonstone side of things, we've obviously got Corlys, who's heartbroken, understandably. And you can understand his despair. He just wants to sail away and just forget everything and what have you. So I do get him wanting to do that, but at the same time, Rhaenyra really needs him now. But I'm not sure how useful he's going to be, unless he really kind of pulls himself out of his kind of dark mood. And obviously, at the end there with Jace, we saw, I was going to say, the seeds being sown for possible dragon riders, which is brilliant. I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to next episode now. But yeah, this one definitely felt like there was a lot of setup for what's to come. And is this season got 8 or 9 episodes? I'm not sure, because that was episode 5, so we got either 3 or 4 more episodes. But yeah, very, very excited to see what that is going to look like in the next episode. I want to see more dragons. I want to see more big dragons, but not fighting, thank you. I don't want them to be fighting. I just want them to come out and, like, fly around for a little bit and then go away again. But anyway, that's it from me, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.